Mr. Darcy, I can go no longer without thanking you for your kindness to my poor sister. Ever since I have known of it, I have been most anxious to tell you how grateful I am for my family and for myself. You must not blame my aunt for telling me. Lydia betrayed it first. And then I couldn't rest till I knew everything. I know what trouble and what mortification it must have cost you. Please let me say this. Please allow me to thank you on behalf of all my family, since they don't know to whom they are indebted.
If you will thank me, let it be for yourself alone. Your family owes me nothing. Much as I respect them, I believe I thought only of you. You are too generous to trifle with me. If your feelings are what they were last April, tell me so at once. My affections and wishes are unchanged. But one word from you will silence me on this subject forever.
Oh, my feelings. My feelings are... I'm ashamed to remember what I said then. My feelings are so different. In fact, they are quite the opposite.
Lady Catherine told me of her meeting with you. I may say that her disclosure had quite the opposite effect to the one she intended. It taught me to hope as I'd scarcely ever allowed myself to hope before. I knew that had you absolutely decided against me, you would have acknowledged it openly.
Yes, you know enough of my frankness to believe me capable of that. After abusing you so abominably to your face, I could have no scruple in abusing you to all your relations.
What did you say of me that I did not deserve? My behaviour to you at the time was unpardonable. I can hardly think of it without abhorrence. Your reproof I shall never forget. Had you behaved in a more gentlemanlike manner. You know not how those words have tortured me.
Not the smallest idea of their ever being taken in such a way.
I can easily believe it. You thought me devoid of every proper feeling. I'm sure you did. The turn of your countenance I shall never forget. You said that I could not have addressed you in any possible way that would induce you to accept me.
Oh, do not repeat what I said then.
No, I've been a selfish being all my life. As a child, I was given good principles, but was left to follow them in pride and conceit. And such I might still have been, but for you. Dearest, loveliest Elizabeth.
To Mr. Darcy? No, you are joking. It is impossible.
This is a wretched beginning. If you don't believe me, I'm sure no one else will. Indeed, I am in earnest. He still loves me, and we are engaged.
No, Lizzie, it can't be true. I know how much you dislike him.
No, it is all forgotten. Perhaps I didn't always love him as well as I do now, but in such cases as these, a good memory is unpardonable.
Dearest Lizzie, do be serious. How long have you loved him?
Well, it's been coming on so gradually, I hardly know. But I believe I must date it from my first seeing his beautiful grounds at Pemberley.
Are you out of your senses to be accepting this man, Lizzie? Have you not always hated him?
Papa.
I've given him my consent. He's the kind of man, indeed, to whom I should never dare refuse anything. But let me advise you to think the better of it. I know your disposition, Lizzie. My child, let me not have the grief of seeing you unable to respect your partner in life. He's rich, to be sure, but will he make you happy?
Have you any objections apart from your belief in my indifference?
None whatever. We all know him to be a proud, unpleasant sort of man. But this would be nothing if you really liked him.
I do. I do like him. I love him. Indeed, he has no improper pride. He's perfectly amiable. If you only knew his generous nature. I didn't always love him, but I love him now so very dearly. He is truly the best man I have ever known.
Well, my dear, if this be the case, he deserves you. I could not have parted with you to anyone less worthy, Lizzie.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of God and in the face of this congregation to join together this man and this woman, and this man and this woman in holy matrimony, which is an honorable estate instituted by God in the time of man's innocency, signifying unto us the mystical union that is between Christ and his church, and therefore is not by any to be enterprised lightly or wantonly to satisfy man's carnal lusts and appetites, but reverently, discreetly, advisedly, soberly, and in the fear of God, duly considering the causes for which matrimony was ordained. First, it was ordained for the procreation of children. Secondly, as a remedy against sin and to avoid fornication. Thirdly, for the mutual society, help and comfort that the one ought to have of the other, both in prosperity and adversity, into which holy estate these persons present come now to be joined.
Mr. Bennet, God has been very good to us.
Yes, so it would seem.